Hey there, welcome to Coaching with Tally. We are in a series this week all about getting in the driver's seat of your own life, taking your power back, and coming into this place of being 100% in ownership and in responsibility for the results that you get in your life. And the good news is that when we get in this place of being an owner, of taking 100% responsibility for our results, we actually secure this place where nothing outside of us has the power to short circuit what it is we're creating. When we get in ownership, when we stop blaming, when we stop making excuses, when we learn to love ourselves well, when we learn to take responsibility, stop complaining, stop chasing happiness outside of ourselves. The beautiful thing is that there isn't a circumstance outside of yourself. There's not another person that is keeping you stuck. You actually have the ability at any point to shift something and to create a different result. So we're in that series, and today specifically we're going to be talking about what if you could stop chasing happiness outside of yourself and actually create it within yourself. So my name is Tally. I'm a life and personal development coach, and I work with leaders to create lives of overflowing impact in the world that are centered in joy. Getting leaders aligned to who it is that they most truly are, firing on all cylinders, looking at every area of life, and really getting into a place of overflow in their lives, in a place that's sustainable in joy. So today, talking about not running after happiness out somewhere in the distant future, but creating it right now for yourself. So when we realize that we get to define what happiness is, hey there, when we get to define what happiness is, then we take that thing that we're giving a lot of our energy, our time, our effort to, that society often defines as the thing that we should have or that we should be running after, and we define it for ourselves, then we get back into the driver's seat of our own life and we can create what it is that we want right now. When we get really clear about what it is that we're driving after, the thing that we really need and want, rather than just getting all of this input from society, which is so often generated by media telling us what you should have to be happy, and we decide, we get to define what happiness is for us. It takes a lot of the power that we're giving away and brings it back into our own life. So let's just think about some examples of that. So a lot of our just discontent is fueled by people who are spending billions of dollars a year in marketing and media, advertising to tell you all of the reasons that you are discontent, why you should be discontent until you have this thing. So a lot of it is, capitalist America, and we're selling things, and everybody plays on that moment of discontent that you find yourself in, and then their ad shows up and you're like, oh, maybe if I had this thing, that would get it. Or I need enough money to be able to afford these kinds of experiences in my life, or this kind of house. Or we buy into the lie that says something subconsciously that sounds like, when I get to this level, or when I obtain this thing, or when I have this, whatever it is in my life, then I can have this sense of peace, or then I'm going to feel happy, or then I'm going to have a sense of significance, or whatever it is. And we buy that lie. And so we run after these things, and the experience is like a carrot on a stick. There's always something out in front of you that you are running after, that you're chasing after, that you're running toward. And it causes us to not feel content in the moments that we are in right now, not content with the level of happiness that we have. I was with a client this morning, and we were just talking about his journey over the last, decade, and the places of success, like the markers that were there for him. He was like, man, when I was in college, I just dreamed of being able to pay all of my bills without having to have a 9-to-5 job. Like, that was my goal. And then I got to a place where I was like, if I could just work from home, like, I don't even care if I'm working for somebody else. If I could just work from home and have that flexibility and some of that freedom in there, like, that would be amazing. And then it was, once I have my own company and I'm making this much money, and then it was, I need to be profiting this much a year. And then it was, if I could sell my company, and then it was, if I could build another company and scale it to this. And now he's got massive success. We've been working together for, 4 years or something, 5 years, I think. And like, he is just success after success after success. Like, we've defined 10 for him in his life wheel over and over again. And he's he's like, one of the things I want to work through with you is that I still find myself in this place where I'm keeping the pedal to the metal and like driving toward success, but it's coming at such a cost. Like I'm just working all of the time launching this new thing, and I feel guilty if I'm resting too much. And so we were just talking about looking at that target. I'm like, you get to define what the center of that target is for you. Like, what is success for you? And if you define it only by the profit margins and the how fast you scale, all of those things, like that's a measure, but it comes often at a cost to really enjoying the present moments and all of the things that you've succeeded in up until now. So yeah, we want to be driving toward more, and that's exciting. But also, if you're not enjoying your life along the way, if you're not really taking time to refuel and rest and deeply enjoy the relationships and really dial in on enjoying taking good care of your body, like all of that, that life balance. Yes, Greg, that life balance. So we talked about that, and we get to define what happiness is. And the more that we allow outside influence to tell us what will make us happy, what will give us peace, what will give us a sense of significance, what will get us to a place where we feel a sense of belonging or approval or love or comfort or security. Like when we let outside influences define that for us, that's where things start to get off. When you decide what it is that is happiness for you, when you decide what is success for me, and you're defining that target, then it just brings so much more like a centeredness to you. So that's my goal for you today. My activation for you today is really to look at those things, because one of the things I was going to tell you is when we let outside things define what it is we're supposed to want and run after and achieve and all of that, then we steer off of our personal course, like what it is we are made for. And it's, I think a lot of times, why you can look at a billionaire who has everything you can imagine ever wanting, and they are in a place of depression or suicidal, or like they are not happy. It's not from external things. And then you can look at a kid. I just went to India this last year and did some missions work, and there are kids who don't have either of their biological parents in their life. They've been rescued out of sex trafficking scenes, and like they live on rice and beans, and they don't even have much, and they're living in a house with 8 other kids and sharing everything. They just don't have like a lot of things, and they're genuinely happy, like genuinely loving, genuinely enjoying their lives. And it's fascinating to look at those differences, and you just, it's really clear. It's not all of the things that our society says we need that give us that place of happiness. It's an inside job. Happiness is an inside job. And so let's just assess really quickly, when you think about where you're giving your most valuable assets, your time, your energy, your effort, even your finances, when you look at where are you giving the things that you have in your life to drive toward what? What is it that you're going after? What is it that you're trying to create? What is it that you want? And when you just think kind of at a surface level, what do you believe driving toward those things is going to give you? So if you ask yourself the question, okay, that's going to give me more time, and if I have more time, then I'm going to have, if you just keep asking the question and going deeper and deeper and deeper with it, and if I get that, what do I believe that will give me? When you start getting down to like where there is nothing under that, like if I have freedom, then I'll have freedom. When you kind of get to that place where there's not anything underneath that, that's kind of the foundational thing. When I get significance, when I get a sense of security, there are core longings that we have. And when we get down to, I'm driving after these things because I think I'm going to get belonging, a sense of challenge, security, love, joy, peace, security, freedom, comfort, love. Those are some of the foundational things. And if you look at all that you're investing and getting to those things, often you actually have access to those things right now. So I often use the analogy of Dorothy, and she was, wearing those red shoes the whole story, and she's running after trying to get to the Wizard of Oz because she just wants to get home. So the whole movie, she's like, how to get to the wizard, how to get to the wizard, and you know, the yellow brick road and all the obstacles and all the things she has to overcome to get to the wizard so that she can get home. When actually we find out at the end of the movie, she has been standing in these shoes that could have had her there instantly. She's had access to the thing she most wanted all along. And often we don't realize it, and we spend an entire lifetime often running towards something we think is going to give us what we need and what we want, but we actually have access to all of those things that are most important to us right now. And often it's just a mindset shift away. So I invite you to look at the things you're running after, look at what you believe that's going to give you, and then look at how you can be finding healthy ways to access those things right now. So freedom is the thing you're running after. How can you experience freedom in your life right now? If belonging is what you're running after and you think that once you get the house, the car, like people will accept you, like how can you actually be finding deep, meaningful relationships right now where you're at? If comfort is what you're running after, how can you experience comfort in the moments of your life right now? How can you find ways of making your home feel comfortable? How can you find peace, internal peace? It's often not going to be something you get to out here. It's an inside job. So look at what it is you're driving after, and look at how you can be creating those things for yourself today. So blessings. We'll be back tomorrow, and just want to say so much love to you guys. If you haven't heard it yet today, I love you, and blessings.